Each year, every NFL team is hoping that they can somehow find a starting caliber quarterback late in the draft. This is tough to do, but it's possible. Obviously, you can look at guys like Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, and Dak Prescott. Even last year, Gardner Minshew was selected in the 6th round and looks to be Jacksonville's franchise quarterback. But what if I told you that Minshew's former college teammate is actually a much better prospect? Meet Anthony Gordon. Before we start, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RespectThePoint in order to have a chance to win an awesome giveaway. Also, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Thank you for your support. It genuinely means a lot. Anthony Gordon stands at 6'2", weighing 205 pounds. He's a QB that attended Washington State University and is entering the draft after his redshirt senior season. Before we go further on his scouting report, it's important to understand his background because it's quite fascinating. Gordon played both baseball and football at Terra Nova High School in Pacifica, California. He was so committed to baseball that he didn't even start playing football until his freshman year in high school. Yet he quickly took the reins as a starting quarterback, and during his senior season, he threw for nearly 5,000 passing yards and 49 touchdowns. He received All-State and All-Metro League honors. Still, he wasn't getting any attention from colleges to play football. So, Gordon took the junior college route and spent the 2015 season at City College of San Francisco, where he led his team to a 12-win record and conference championship. Putting up big passing numbers, Gordon got the attention of Mike Leach and transferred to Washington State in 2016. After redshirting his first year, Gordon was then the backup to Luke Falk. A year later, Gordon served as Minshew's backup. It was brutal luck to be stuck behind two future NFL quarterbacks, but Gordon rode it out in Pullman. 3 years riding the bench could have been enough to convince Gordon to transfer elsewhere, but he remained with the Cougs. Sticking out at Wazzu proved to pay off for him. In 2019, he finally got his chance to start, for the first time since his JUCO freshman year, and he made the most of it. Gordon finished the season with 5,579 yards and 48 touchdowns. Although Wazzu finished with a disappointing 6-7 record, Gordon set both school and conference single-season records for passing touchdowns and yards. He also broke the records for total offense and completions, and he led the nation in completions and finished with more passing yards per game than any other QB. How about this first stat? He only started one season at Washington State, but he had more pass attempts in his career than Tua Tagovailoa. But now, let's get into the nitty-gritty and analyze him as a draft prospect. Regarding the pros of his game, Gordon is an accurate passer, has a quick release, is a good athlete, is very creative, and is an excellent competitor. His playing style was the perfect fit for Leach's offense. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the world, but is strong enough and he's a very precise touch passer. Gordon also has a fast release and throws a catchable ball. As soon as targets flash into his vision, he's shown to be capable of getting the ball to them right after. He doesn't have an over-the-top release, but rather a 3/4 one that involves a strong finish that enables him to get the ball into his desired areas. He also displays good overall athleticism for the QB position. He is good in pocket mobility with subtle movements to evade the rush and deliver the football from the pocket. He also displays good escapability and will extend plays with his legs. Even when improvising, Gordon seems to always remain in control of his body as his eyes remain downfield amid all of the chaos. There's never a sense of panic with where his process speeds up, and he demonstrates outlandish movements. Slight sidesteps, shoulder turns, and body bends to cancel out pressure were frequent, and he's also able to make throws on the run. He's fully aware of his arm strength deficiencies, and he's able to anticipate where targets are going to be multiple steps ahead prior to their arrival. Gordon also always shows to be in great control of the offense. Knowing where to go with the ball, he has a non-stop work ethic, which helps him maximize his abilities. Gordon fit the mold perfectly of what Leach looked for in his quarterbacks. Mentally tough, passed over many times by others, but smart, even though they don't contain the strongest arm in the world. Similar to his predecessor, Gardner Minshew, Gordon uses all of his past experiences of being passed over as fuel to his fire to perform at high levels. On the flip side, there's one big problem with his game: his decision making. The biggest concern on Gordon is his penchant for throwing bad passes into coverage. He had 16 interceptions last season. While that is partially a volume issue of throwing 687 passes, Gordon's forced throws stick out. He will sit in the pocket for a while and then just take a chance at a deep shot that is clearly covered. He protects the football with placement pretty well, but his lack of fear for double and triple coverage, squatting safeties, and closing underneath his own defenders are all concerning. He's also extremely satisfied to invite pressure to force himself to make throws he shouldn't attempt. almost as if to justify his attempts at these ill-advised throws. He shows his ability to make defenders miss when his eyes are active, but he'll stare down targets and have to bail at the last second, leading to broken plays that his arm isn't quite big enough to fix. But here's an important point I want to make. I'm not comparing Gordon to Patrick Mahomes. Pat obviously has a much stronger arm and is a better player, but much of the criticism for Mahomes as a draft prospect is the same for Gordon. We said that Mahomes was an awful decision maker that would just chuck the ball up whenever, but the reality was that at Texas Tech, Mahomes felt the need to always try to make the spectacular play in order to give his mediocre team a chance to win. Once he got to the pros and played for a good team, Mahomes was able to reel in his recklessness and his talent was able to shine through. Could Gordon follow the same path? With the Cougs, Gordon always went for the home run play, as he knew that he had to be great in order to lift the rest of his team. Could his game be refined at the next level? Maybe. We obviously don't know, but what we do know is that proper decision making can be learned, but incredible creativity in football field cannot. Overall, Anthony Gordon is an exciting developmental prospect with plenty of tools at his disposal. A one-year starter, Gordon needs patience and development to master timing concepts, layered reads, and consistency in his work within the pocket. Yet he illustrates strong arm strength and a natural sense for working and thriving off script. He's the perfect early day 3 developmental quarterback prospect. And that'll do it for this one. Share the video with your friends and feel free to subscribe to the channel. Comment, what are your thoughts on Anthony Gordon, and who is your favorite prospect in the 2020 NFL Draft? Finally, be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. That is all for this one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.